Hello friends, do you know Varun Dhawan's film? Have you watched that film? Yes, I am talking about Judwa 2. I think you have watched that film. Yes, in that film, two brothers are looking alike. Varun Dhawan and his brother. He is also Varun Dhawan. Looking alike. And because of that resemblance, what happened or what humorous things or sometimes some dangerous things are happening, serious matters are happening in their life. I think you have watched it in that film. And in film, when we see such type of person, at that time we say that we call they are playing double role. Yes, means when one person is looking like another person, at that time we say double role. In our real life also, we see such people, but they do not play double role, but they take both at a time. And what do we call such people? Yes, students, you are very correct. Such people we call twins, identical twins. Yes, today we are going to see such type of poem, or the name of that poem is The Twins. Same things what happened in Varun Dhawan's life. Here also two brothers are there, John and Henry. And what happened in their life, what humorous things happen in their life, or what serious things happen in their life, we have to see it in here. The Twins. This poem is written by Henry Sambrook Leake. He was born in 1837 and died in 1883. He was a writer and dramatist. He has translated many French operas. Operas means musical dramas. His lyrics songs were published regularly under the titles Carol Cocaine or Carol of Cocaine. They are a town garland, a collection of lyrics, etc. He is known for his lyrical words and his humorous poem. And here today we are also going to see one of his humorous poem, and the name of that poem is The Twins. So let's start the poem. Now I am going to read the first stanza of the poem. In form and feature, face and limb, I grew so like my brother that folks got taking me for him and each for one another. It puzzled all our kith and kin, it reached a fearful pitch. For one of us was born a twin, yet not a soul know who was who. So here we will see new words first. The meaning of new words. As you can see in the stanza, the new words are in bold type. Let me explain just meaning of these new words. Form and feature. That is meaning of form and feature. Structure and appearance means face and physical appearance. Second word is taking. So the meaning of this word in here, that taking, is mistaking. Means in this poem the meaning is mistaking. Next word is kith and kin. Kith and kin means relatives. And next word pitch. Pitch means limit, height, peak. So in this poem the poet has beautifully used figures of speech, and that figures of speech made that poem humorous. If you see the very first line of the poem, that is in form and feature, face and limb, or if you see the fifth line, it puzzled all our kith and kin. So if you read these lines properly, you can see that some words, some letters are repeated here. In first line, letter F is repeated. So we can see it clearly that letter is, and in fifth line letter K is repeated. So when one letter is repeated for musical reason, at that time it makes alliteration. The name of that figure of speech is alliteration. One more figure of speech has used poet in here, that is in third line, that folks got taking me for him. When in this line the poet has used the figures of speech pun. So the pun means when one word is used for double meaning, at that time it is called pun. And in this line the word folks is used in double meaning, means folks means here not only people, not only friends, but also his parents are included in it. That's why it gives double meaning, and the figure of speech is pun. Let's see the meaning of the poem. The poet is saying that here he and his brother both are looking same in everything. Their faces, their appearance, everything is looking same, and that thing puzzled people. People were confused. Who is John and who is Henry? And the poet is saying that it puzzled everybody, means not only people but also his parents, and he is saying his kith and kin. And now it has reached to pick, means it has reached to pitch, that is now this confusion reached at the height. And again he is saying that who born first and who born next, we don't know. Someone is born twin, and he is saying that nobody knows who is that twin. Now we are moving to second stanza. One day, to make the matter worse, before our names were fixed, as we were being washed by nerds, we got completely mixed. And thus, you see, by fate's decree, or rather nerds whim, my brother John christened me, and I got christened him. So new words again we will see first. First word is decree. Decree means order. Second word is whim. Whim means a sudden change of mind, sudden change in nature. It is called whim. And next word, it is christen. Christen means name given to a baby at the naming ceremony. We know that when a baby born, at that time after 12 days we give name to the baby, and it is called christen in here. Again poet has used here figures of speech. Yes, can you find out examples of figures of speech in here? Because the figures of speech that used in first stanza, same figures of speech is used in second stanza. So can you find out examples? Yes, first example, that one day to make the matter worse. That is one day to make the matter worse. And second example is as we were being washed. So what figure of speech it is? Yes, again some of the letters are repeated here. Means in first line letter M is repeated, and here letter W is repeated. And as we know, when same letter is repeated, it makes alliteration, means the figures of speech is alliteration. One more figures of speech is also there. He is saying that my brother John got christened me and I got christened him. Means here the exaggeration statement is exaggerating, or statement is used for exaggeration, or it is actually it is used to create humor. That exaggeration creates humor, and that's why poet has used that sentence in that way. And when we see such type of sentences, these sentences are in hyperbole. So the figures of speech is hyperbole in here. Let's see the meaning of that stanza. So the poet is telling here that one day what happened? They were being washed before their naming ceremony. They were being washed by nurse, and by nurse mistake, what happened? They got completely mixed. And when they were taken to that christening ceremony, that is naming ceremony, at that time his brother got his name, and he, means poet, got his brother's name, means his brother named as, christened as John, and poet himself christened as Henry. So this humorous thing happened due to the mistake of that nurse. Then third stanza, this fatal likeness even dogged my footsteps when at school, and I was always getting flogged for John turned out a fool. I put this question fruitlessly to everyone I knew. What would you do if you were me to prove that you were you? First, as usual, we will see new words. First new word is fatal. That is, fatal means leading to disaster or leading to death. Second word is dogged. Dogged means to follow. Here, continued to follow. And next, for flogged. Flogged means beaten up, punished. Now again, figure of speech. Yes, to create humor, the writer has used figure of speech, hyperbole. So can you find out the example of hyperbole from this stanza? Yes, the example is, and I always getting flogged for John turned out a fool. Yes, that is the example of hyperbole. The lines are exaggerated to create humor. Let's see the meaning of this stanza also. Now poet is saying that this bad luck, this fatal likeness did not stop in it up to his childhood. It reached to his school, and when at school his brother committing mistake, the writer was being beaten up by teacher. So it was his bad luck that all the time they were taking him as a John, and John was committing mistake, and Henry, means poet, was getting punished for it. So that's why he is asking a question fruitlessly, that what would you do if you were me to prove that you were you? So he is asking general public a question. What will you do if somebody asks you to prove that you are you? And last stanza, our close resemblance turned the tide of my domestic life, for somehow my intended bride became my brother's wife. In fact, year after year the same absurd mistake went on, and when I died, the neighbors came and buried brother John. Again, only one new word is there, that is turn the tide. Turn the tide means change the situation. Now here also figure of speech, that is hyperbole, that is exaggeration, is used. So can you find out that example? Yes, and when I died, the neighbors came and buried brother John. This is the example of hyperbole, that is the fact, the situation has been exaggerated here. Let's see the meaning of this last stanza. Now he is saying that these things, means all the bad things are following him, and it did not stop at the school life also. It came to his domestic life. It reached, it interfere in his personal life also. So he is saying that his intended bride got married to his brother's wife. Means they took his brother as Henry, and his intended bride, she got married with him. And again, that humor reached at the peak when the poet is saying that when I died, the neighbors came and buried Brother John. Means when poet died, the poet people did not bury the poet. Instead of burying poet, they came and buried his brother John. So by using hyperbole, or by making the beautiful use of figures of speech, the poet has made this poem humorous, and that's why we can enjoy this poem very well.